Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Knights Sports Arena at Southern Virginia University. For tonight's women's basketball Capital Athletic Conference matchup featuring the Bobcats of Frostburg State and yours. Tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation and go Knights. In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer which will be offered by Sarah Lashamina.
Dear Father in heaven, we're so grateful that we can come together to cheer on our respective teams. Please bless each team to do their very best, that they will have strength and stamina, and that we will not have any serious injuries this evening. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Amen.
And now, if you all please rise, remove your caps and face the flag for the singing of our national anthem by Karin Allred.
Oh, say, can you see by red dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome everyone to Southern Virginia University women's basketball today from the Knight Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Nash Jones. We're ready to bring you the Southern Virginia University Knights up against the Frostburg Bobcats. And Nash, you look at the standings right now in the Capital Athletic Conference. Again, the top 6 teams will make the Capital Conference. The top 5 are pretty much set in Christopher, Newport, Marymount, Mary Washington, York, and Salisbury. Then you've got Frostburg at 6-10, Southern Virginia 5-11, St. Mary's 4-12. The Knights really control their own destiny despite that loss on Saturday to St. Mary's. If they can beat Frostburg today, they'll be even with Frostburg. And I would imagine they'll have the tiebreaker because they would then have beat them in the 2 games this season. And so the Knights would have a chance, I guess in theory, to wrap up a spot in the Capital Conference tournament by going on the road on Saturday and beating Salisbury. And they could even still make a tournament by beating Frostburg today, losing to Salisbury, and having Frostburg lose to Wesley. But first and foremost, the Knights have to win today. If they lose to Frostburg today, Frostburg pretty much wraps up a spot in the Capital Conference, and it's going to be all she wrote for the Knights except for that last road game against Salisbury.
Yeah, this is a must-win game here for the Knights tonight. The last time these two played, the Knights actually came away with a 20-point win. We had a big game from Katie Garrett. She pulled in 19 points and 15 rebounds. So I think Frostburg's probably going to find a way to probably shut down Katie down low as they look to find last game. Katie and Shelby Butler, they just found each other down low the whole game, just got points off the glass. And so that's probably what Frostburg's going to try and do tonight, is probably force Southern Virginia to shoot on the perimeter more. But hopefully Nicole Muse and Corey Stout and Alexis Barnes, they can work their magic tonight and hit those three-pointers.
It is senior day today for the women's basketball team. Last home game for the women at Southern Virginia University. We've got 3 seniors to be honored today, including Adriana Jensen, who will get the start today, the 5'6" senior out of Draper, Utah, also getting the start. Another senior, Jamila Gamby, and Shelby Butler, the 5'11" senior from West Litchfield, Washington, also will get the start today. The other 2 starters, Katie Garish and Corey Stout. So 3 seniors being honored with a start, and they'll also be honored, Nash, in between games today. The men's contest will come up around 6 or 6:15. Before that men's contest, we'll have the 3 seniors honored for the women. We'll also have Tony Caputo honored as well. Tony Caputo, the men's coach. This will be his last coaching home game. And, of course, the men and the women have one more game after this, playing on the road at Salisbury on Saturday. And we are underway with the Knights trying to get action going here quickly after winning the opening tip. And the Knights will try to get on the scoreboard first. Adriana Jensen to Corey Stout. They go from right to left. And this is Butler dropping the ball off to Jensen. Back to Butler for the hook shot, and she left it short. And the Frostburg Bobcats will have it for the first time as they work it up court against the Knights' pressure. This is Pinkra, Joa Pinkra with the ball outside. And she's going to fire the 3 and connect.
What a big shot from Pinkra. Early start in the game for Frostburg.
She came in averaging 7 points a game, and it's 3-0 Bobcats. Pass down low, it's too far for Garish. A turnover for the Knights. That was the problem against St. Mary's earlier on Saturday, especially late in the game, Nash. Just too many turnovers as they were trying to get the ball down low to Shelby Butler and Katie Garish.
Yeah, that's one thing they're going to have to work on tonight, and they probably worked on this week in practices, working on those bounce passes down low. As last game you saw, they try to pass it down low to either Katie or Shelby. They'd get a finger, get a foot, and it'd be a big turnover for St. Mary's. So that's one thing they're going to have to look for tonight.
This is Alexis Barnes into the game for the first time. Pass down low is sold away by Frostburg momentarily. Now it's going to be a tie-up. And the possession arrow will favor Frostburg, so the Bobcats have it. That's a couple of times now, Nash, where the Knights have tried to go down low to their big players inside in Garish and Butler and have thrown the ball away. Kayla Wilson with it all the way up the right side. Great move on the baseline. Her shot good. It is 5-0 as Kayla Wilson, the freshman from Laurel, Maryland, scores. Gamby had her shot blocked. No foul call. Gamby hitting the court. Some contact maybe. Wilson ahead with a layup. And it quickly to 7-0 Frostburg. And so the Knights will go ahead and take a timeout as Coach Heather Roberts wants to get this one under control. A quick 7-0 burst by Frostburg to open up the action here. And the Knights have had some turnovers early on, Nash. And boy, Frostburg isn't missing, at least here in the first minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah, they've gone perfect so far, hitting that big 3 at the very beginning and then hitting 2 fast break layups. Just really just taking it fast here early on. The Knights really needing to figure out how to get the ball down low. Really, I think that's one thing they're going to need tonight is a big game from Katie Garish. As we saw the last time they played Frostburg, she had a huge game.
Yeah, the Knights just have to kind of settle down because obviously we got a long way to go in this one. Knights do have a couple of turnovers here in the first minute and a half as Corey Stout gets it across the timeline. Inside to Alexis Barnes, outside to Gamby. Knights trying to work it around the perimeter, avoid any turnovers. Frostburg really collapsing on Butler. Butler on the baseline shoots and it rims out, a tough miss. Ball battled for, and it's going to be a tie-up. Jump ball possession arrow is going to favor Southern Virginia, so the Knights will have it. Knights still looking for their first points. We have played just over 2 minutes here in this first quarter. Inbounds pass to Garish, over to Butler. Jumper on the way, up and no good. A little too strong. It hit the rim. and bounced off. Steal by Gamby. Gamby gets it back from Barnes and scores.
Good steal there by Barnes, looking away, getting it down to Gamby.
Another steal by Gamby over to Barnes and her layup, and she is fouled. So Jamila Gamby with a couple of steals to get her team right back into it.
Yeah, just giving it right back to Barnes like Barnes did to her just right before.
Talked about the turnovers impacting the Knights in the first few minutes, and there's a couple of quick turnovers by Frostburg. First foul shot is up and good. 7-3. And 2 foul shots made by Alexis Barnes. 7-4. Knights with a 4-0 run. As Frostburg tries to work it across the timeline, they do. This is Pinkra with it. And now Wilson. Pinkra, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound to Frostburg. Shot clock did not reset, so the shot clock's at 8. Kayla Wilson gets a pick, and a steal by Gamby again, and a shot clock violation anyway, and another steal by Gamby. I think she's got 3 in the last couple of minutes. Barnes all the way blocked by the big player, Amanda Emery, for Frostburg, out of bounds. It's still Knights basketball. Gamby almost single-handedly, the senior, turning this game around.
Yeah, Gamby starting off early with 3 steals. As we see, it leads to 2 more points from Katie Garish.
And it's 7-6, so the Knights have a 6-0 run after calling that timeout. Victoria Diggs with the ball, the little point guard. She's only 5'4". And now Pinkra will shoot a long 3 and connects, and she has had a couple of jumpers from outside. They're going to rule that one a 2, so it's 9-6 Frostburg. Turnaround jumper by Garish is good on the baseline, and the Knights come right back and make it 9-8. Wilson gets it up court, and Frostburg labors that ball across the timeline. Wilson lobbing inside, ball knocked away by the Knights. And a foul is called on Frostburg. So two team fouls here on the Bobcats. No team fouls so far on the Knights. They were trailing here early, 7-0, but the Knights have gone on an 8-2 run to climb to within a point, and now the Knights can actually take the lead for the first time in this game. Gamby, good stutter step move, missed the shot, got her own rebound. Barnes will try, on the way up and no good, too strong. Rebound of the Bobcats, and almost a steal by the Knights. Pinkra gets it ahead to Wilson. Wilson to Stotler. And a turnover on Frostburg's part.
You know, I think at the beginning of the game, Frostburg just got off to a fast start, and that's what the Knights really need to do, is call that timeout and slow everything down, get a good pace going, and it's worked for them so far. Just looking to take this lead back right now.
And we'll see if the Knights can take their first lead of the game. Pass inside, Garish to Butler, missed the shot, and the rebound pulled away by Frostburg. So the Bobcats still have a 1-point lead. Victoria Diggs, the 5'4" guard, connecting on a 3-pointer to make it 12-8 Frostburg. So that's their second 3 of the game. Corey's out to the right side, over to Garish, down low, pass knocked away by Frostburg, picked up by the Bobcats. You can see, Nash, how they really want to collapse on the center and really take away the inside play for Butler and Garish.
Yeah, because that's what hurt them last game. Really looking to push everybody outside, out on the perimeter.
Kelly bounce passes. And now Pinkra is going to fire another jumper, and it sticks on the iron. And because of the possession error, it's going to be Bobcats basketball. Brittany Ballum will check in. Her first appearance today for the Knights. as Shelby Butler will sit down. And Victoria Yoder is checking in, a 5'7" sophomore from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, for Frostburg. Bobcats lead it here, 12-8. They led early 7-0. The Knights came back to make it 8-7, and now it's a 4-point lead for the Bobcats. And Gambee just picked up her first foul. That's the first team foul on the Knights.
The Knights really needing to look out for Diggs, as Diggs was the leading scorer the last time these two played. She scored 19 points.
She is super quick, only 5'4". Outside jumper up and no good by Stotler, missing from three-point range for Frostburg. Frostburg as a team, they came in hitting 32% from three-point range. Gambee the other way for a pull-up jumper, good. And it's 12-10. Frostburg breaking it across the timeline. Diggs inside to Stotler. And Diggs will try a jumper, no good. The rebound pulled down by Pinkrub, but too strong on the follow, and the Knights have the ball, down by 2. Gambia on the left side to Barnes. She'll fire the three, good! And the Knights, for the first time today, have the lead at 13-12. Almost a steal by the Knights. Megan Kelly gets it across the timeline, and a steal by Jamila Gambee.
That's her fourth steal in this game. It's only the first quarter.
Amazing. And she only has the one foul. Stout, down low, Garish, hook shot on the way up and no good. And the rebound to Yoder of Frostburg. Yoder breaks it across the timeline and pulls it up. Knights with a 1-point lead, their first lead of the game. Almost a steal by the Knights, but Diggs is able to have it momentarily. Now she loses the ball. It's a turnover for the Bobcats. Here come the Knights with a 1-point lead. Pass down low to Barnes, backing her way in, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Alexis Barnes, and it is going to be Frostburg basketball.
Alexis Barnes really being a big three-point shooter here for the Knights, so if they're going to fight to keep Garish and Butler out down low, they're going to really need to find Alexis out on the perimeter.
And Shelby Butler also checking back in for the Knights. Long three by Megan Kelly, good again. 15-13, Frostburg by 2. That's their third three of the first quarter. Gambee tries to go all the way, blocked from behind. Loose ball is picked up by Diggs. Diggs goes from right to left, goes through a couple of defenders. Pinkrow will fire a three, it's no good. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds by the Knights. It's going to be Frostburg basketball. Boy, Frostburg, at least in this first quarter, Nash, they are not shy about shooting that three-pointer.
Yeah, they made their third three-pointer so far in the first quarter, shooting 3 of 7. Knights only having 1 of 1.
15-13, Bobcats lead by 2 with a minute 58 to go here in the first quarter. And a man by Southern Virginia. And Yoder from outside passes down low to Downey. Hook shot, good. That is Amber Downey just into the game. 6'1" junior, she makes it 17-13. And the ball's off the fingertips of Butler, out of bounds, as Ballum tried to get it down low. And now Garish will check in, replacing Gambee. 17-13, Bobcats by 4. Wilson back into the game. Almost lost the ball. It's knocked out of bounds by Ballum. The Knights are doing a great job forcing turnovers here in this first quarter.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job putting the pressure on this Frostburg offense. That's their 8th turnover here in the first quarter. As we saw, the Knights have struggled early in the game with turnovers. They started out with 4 turnovers right off the bat.
Frostburg this time gets it across the timeline, down low, pass comes to Emery. She doesn't take the shot. Kelly will fire the three and connects. That's 4 3-pointers in this first quarter now for Frostburg, and they've got a 7-point lead at 20-13. Garish down low, hook shot, and it goes in. Garish had a big day against Frostburg the first time these two teams played. 19 points, 15 rebounds, and a steal by the Knights. Nicole Muse into the game, gets the steal. She tries to go all the way and is going to be called for a foul. It's going to be a charge on Muse. After she got the good steal, she tried to go all the way for the layup and ran over a defender. And so Muse will check out and Gamby will check back in. In that first game, Nash, you talked about it. The Knights were able to win on the road by 20 points over Frostburg. But the Bobcats have started very good from three-point range here today, and they've got 4 3-pointers so far. Missing that shot. Knights down by 5 with the basketball. 34 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pass inside. Garish wide open, missed the shot. It's out of bounds, knocked out of bounds. Last touched. Let's see who touched it last. It looks like it's going to be last touched by the Knights. Boy, Garish was wide open and just rushed her shot a little bit. Bobcats trying to work it up court. They do to Kayla Wilson. They can go for the last shot of the quarter if they want to. The clock's down to 13 seconds. Yoder's going to try a three. It's no good. The rebound of the Knights, 9 seconds to go. Knights down by 5. Ballum stops, gives to Garish, jumper, and she's called for a walk. Called for a travel with less than a second to go. And we have an injured Bobcat down on the floor underneath the basket, too. Didn't see what happened, Nash. I was looking at the travel call, and that's a tough play for Katie Garish to make with a couple of seconds left. Coming down court to get the pass and then to stop on the dime without obviously taking that extra step.
Yeah, Brindy got the rebound and came down. She was coming down fast, but 2 Bobcats kind of jumped in her way, so she knew that she wasn't going to be able to take that shot. She saw Katie wide open at the free throw line, but took one too many steps, and the Bobcats were able to get the ball back. When we talk about the three-pointers, though, here in the first quarter, they already have 4. The Bobcats have 4 3-pointers. That's as many as they made the last time they played Southern Virginia the whole entire game.
Injured Bobcat is Amanda Emery. Almost looks like she might have experienced a cramp. We'll see if she comes back or not. Getting off the court with some assistance with just less than a second to go here in this first quarter. Bobcats will inbounds, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So a pretty good quarter by the Frostburg Bobcats. Thanks to their three-point shooting, they lead here 20-15. And in men's lacrosse action, in the second period, it is Southern Virginia rallying to get by Ferrum right now, 7-6. Ferrum was on top early in that game, Nash, but the Knights have a 7-6 lead.
Yeah, Knights are doing really good with the men's lacrosse game. As we've seen, Sean Lamb, he had a goal. He's had 2 goals. Jace Thomas has a goal. Carter Bean has a goal. Tennyson Schmidt has a goal. Ty Veras has a goal. And Seth Garth has a goal.
And the Knights, who trailed early in that game, they trailed early, actually have now surged in front, and that's their first game of the 2018 season, playing over the fields at Southern Virginia University.
Yeah, they struggled early, being down 4-1 in the first period and rallying back, scoring 6 goals in the second period so far.
And baseball's in action. Bottom of the third inning. It is Washington Lee on top of Southern Virginia 1-0. As the Knights baseball is able to play after some rainy weather of late. They're playing at Washington Lee and again trailing 1-0 here. In an all-important game for the women, it is Southern Virginia trailing at the end of one quarter, 20-15. And again, that three-point shooting, Nash, really the key to that 5-point lead here for the Bobcats. But there is Shelby Butler knocking down a jumper to give the Knights a little bit of a boost to start the second quarter, pulling them to within 3. Don't think the shot clock ever started on that possession. Referee noticing it, so they'll have to take it out of bounds. Now the Bobcats work it over to Diggs. You can see she is lightning fast. Nice pass inside by Diggs. And getting the lip to go with Stotler. What a great pass by the little 5'4" guard, Victoria Diggs.
Yeah, and she's a lot like Corey Stout, too. Both are just really fast and really dish the ball out when they need to and get good passes, as we saw Diggs go down and give a nice, easy pass.
Garish not able to connect on her shot. Diggs up court, Yoder, jumper on the way, too strong, but a rebound, pulled down, and a foul is going to be called. If that's on Jamila Gambi, that would be her second. It is her second foul as she fouls Stotler on the rebound. Stotler just happened to be in the right place on Yoder's miss there, Nash, because Yoder didn't hit anything, and it went right to Stotler, who was on the other side of the rim. So Gambi with her second foul checking out, and Ballum will check in. Knights are trailing here, 23-17. They had the lead earlier on a three-pointer by Alexis Barnes. But for the most part, I would say Frostburg has led this first half, about 98%?
Yeah, they've done really good so far here. Southern Virginia really needs to catch back up.
And right now the Knights trail by 7. I believe that is the biggest lead so far for Frostburg. Barnes will try an outside jumper, no good. And the rebound to Katie Garish. Boy, she did a great job grabbing that rebound, tipping it around, and somehow controlling it. And so the Knights got a big basket there. Wilson across the timeline, drops the pass off to Victoria Diggs. And now Kayla Wilson gets a pick. Drops that pass back, and the shot is missed on a running jumper by Downey, but the rebound comes out to Frostburg. They miss a three-pointer, and Corey Stout grabs that rebound. Pass inside, shot no good by Butler. And back the other way, Yoder. Stops, gives to Stotler. 5-point lead for Frostburg. Pass inside to Downey, back outside out of Diggs. Kayla Wilson to Stotler. Shot clock at 5. Wilson driving to the bucket. A wild shot is no good, and the rebound comes away to Southern Virginia. Good defense by the Knights.
Knights putting a lot of pressure early in this game.
Ballum can't hit the three. It's an air ball. Garish saves it right to Yoder. Yoder on a 2-on-1 break tries to go all the way and is hammered by Corey Stout. Corey Stout making sure that time, Nash, that there was no way that layup was going to be made.
Yeah, and that's what, if you're going to foul, make sure that they don't make it.
So Yoder will go to the foul line. About a 72% foul shooter, and she misses that one. Coming in for the Knights, Savannah Christensen. That'll be her first appearance today. Nicole Muse also checking back in. Knights trail here 24-19. They fell behind early 7-0. And have really been trying to play catch up for the most part ever since. And now they down by 6, 25-19. The Frostburg Bobcats on top. The Knights came in with an overall record. Again, needing this one for the conference. They're 12-11 overall. Frostburg is 10-13. Pass to Christensen on the baseline. Outside to Stout, down low Christensen. Hook shot on the way, no good. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Frostburg basketball.
So close for Christensen, just was unable to get a little more power on her shot.
And again, the shot clock did not start, so they'll have to take the ball out of bounds again. 7 minutes on the clock, game clock right now. It's 25-19. Frostburg on top by 6. Kayla Wilson with the ball. 5'6" freshman. Wilson down low, Stotler. Oh, what a great move on Garish. She faked to the right and went to the left, and Garish went for that first move, Nash, and it was an easy layup.
You know, and she's going to work Garish a little bit. She's a little smaller than Garish. Garish being 6'3", Stotler only being 6 foot even.
8-point lead for Frostburg. That's their biggest lead so far today. Pass down low to Christensen. Hook shot. No good. Ball's tipped out, and it's going to be Frostburg basketball. So the Bobcats have the ball in an 8-point lead. Well, both teams obviously knew coming in, Nash, that they really needed to win this game today. That would go a long way for the Knights, and obviously for Frostburg, it would wrap up that spot in the Capital Conference Tournament. How much the Southern Virginia victory at Frostburg about a month ago, a 20-point victory, how much that is on the minds of Frostburg, if they remember that game quite a lot. That's a really hard way to say, as Ballum got crushed Ballum crushed Diggs. There was no foul call. Stout the other way, shoots and scores.
What a good little move by Stout right there. A lot of contact though down on the other end as no foul was called.
Yeah, Victoria Diggs got hit from behind. The other way, Wilson can't score. So I guess you could say on that last play, they're really letting them play, Nash. And it worked out well for the Knights, who have now gotten within 6. Almost a steal by Frostburg. They do get the ball. Now it's a tie-up. And the jump ball position arrow is going to favor the Frostburg Bobcats. Alexis Barnes will replace Nicole Muse. It is 6-point lead right now for Frostburg. And the Bobcats jumped on top early, 7-0. And they've led almost the entire game. Kelly, down low, Stotler. And now back out to Wilson. The freshman Wilson driving, missing, and they're going to call a foul. And we'll see if Alexis Barnes or perhaps another player picked up that foul. And Alexis Barnes will pick up her first foul. Wilson gets the first shot to go as Corey Stout playing a lot of minutes out of the game now. And Tui Severa will check in for her. Angel Tui Severa, the 5'6" sophomore from Utah. Wilson got the second shot, and now Frostburg has its biggest lead once again, matching its biggest lead of 8 points.
Knights really need to look to find that spark here. One play that's going to set them up and keep them going.
There's a kick on Diggs' part as Ballum was trying to go down low to Garish.
We've already seen the Knights come back from a deficit like this early in the games. They were down 7-0.
Garish double team, gets it over to Butler. Butler back to Barnes. Inside pass, knocked out of bounds by Frostburg. Frostburg really clogging the middle. They're really collapsing. And now the three-point shot is there for the Knights, but they really haven't been looking too much for three-pointers. Pass way outside to Butler, and she walked with the basketball. She tried to control that ball and throw it all in one motion as opposed to Nash just letting it hit the floor and then picking it up. So the turnover goes on the part of the Knights. And now the Bobcats will try to work it across the timeline. They do. And a foul is going to be called on Viscala, who's just into the game. Looks like they're going to say no foul, but she stepped on the sideline instead. So the turnover on the Bobcats will give it right back to Southern Virginia.
Both teams looking about even turnovers here in the first half, with Frostburg having 10 turnovers, Southern Virginia only having 8.
Butler was fouled going through 3 defenders. And she'll have a chance to go from the foul line to pick up a couple of points. As Marina Jones, the 5'11" freshman for Frostburg, just into the game picking up that foul. Butler connects to make it a 7-point Frostburg lead.
Butler being one of the better free throw shooters here on this team, shooting 72%.
Missed that one. But Garrish with the rebound, couldn't get the shot to go. Butler for the follow. She couldn't score, and she does the second time and is fouled. And Butler's got a chance at a three-point play.
What a quick little 3 shots right there. Unable to connect on the free throws. Garrish right there to out-jump those 2 right next to her. Unable to get her shot, but Shelby also getting that rebound.
Missed that shot. Ball tipped out. Diggs is right there for the rebound. 29-24. Frostburg with a 5-point lead. Their biggest lead has been 8. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Bobcats with 4:36 to go. A quick timeout, I would imagine, by the head coach for Frostburg, Kerry Saunders, just to settle her team down a little bit. As Frostburg had an 8-point lead, but the Knights able to grab a lot of offensive rebounds, and they've cut that lead down to 5.
The Knights scoring even so far with Frostburg here in the second quarter, both scoring 9 points. The first quarter was really tough for the Knights as they came out on a slow start, down 7, but then somehow came back really strong, scoring, I think it was 8 unanswered points, somewhere around there, somewhere in that range. Came back and got the lead.
Yeah, the Knights have been playing catch-up almost all the way in this first half. They did have the lead momentarily for a brief moment in the first quarter by a point after coming from behind during that 7-0 deficit to start the game. And right now, they trail by 5. Diggs hits another 3. That's her second 3 of the game. And I believe that's 5 3-pointers now for Frostburg.
Frostburg already scoring more 3s than they did last game, as they only scored 4 last game.
And Shelby Butler is tied up. And the Knights will still have it on the possession arrow. Yeah, Frostburg, again, they've really come out on fire. They're looking for that 3-point shot when they've got a chance at it.
You know, maybe that's what they've been practicing for a month or so as they come to beat Southern Virginia tonight.
Harris couldn't control the inbounds, lost it. Turnover for the Knights. Frostburg, 8-point lead with the ball. Their biggest lead has been 8 points. And there's Butler with a steal on a pass inside.
Good eyes by Butler, seeing that ball was going right to her matchup. Was able to get that quick steal.
Garish can't connect inside. Garish had a good look at it. Just has not been able to connect on that hook shot. And now here's Pinkra for a long 3, and she missed that one, and the rebound to Garish. So finally the Bobcats miss on a 3-point shot. Stout will drive. She shoots, can't score. Rebound, Bobcats. Bobcats working across the timeline. Over to Pinkra. Muscalo's pass is way over the head of a teammate out of bounds. You know, the Knights have also been hampered, I think, early on here in this second quarter by the loss of Jamila Gambi. Picked up her second foul. She came out of the game. She really helped turn that game around in the first quarter with all those steals.
Yeah, she picked up 4 steals by herself. Really tough having her go out early with those 2 fouls as it's 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
She may sit the entire second quarter and not play until the third quarter. We'll see. There's only 2:55 left in the second quarter. Ballum has it right corner and is fouled by Pinkra. Non-shooting foul as the Bobcats have just picked up their third team foul. Yoder is back in for Pinkra. 3 team fouls now for each team with 2:50 to go to halftime. Knights down by 8. Barnes, top of the key, can't connect on the 3. It went in, then came back out, but there's an offensive rebound for the Knights. Inside Butler, almost lost it. Barnes will go over to Tui Sever on the right side. And now we're going to have a foul call inside, and it'll go against Marina Jones. That's the 4th foul on the Bobcats. Knights still trail here by 8. Ballum looking to get it in. Just barely did. Got it over to Butler. Now Tui Severo with it. Barnes driving, shooting, and scoring. What a great move by Alexis Barnes, and it's 32-26.
Barnes does a really good job. She's one of those players that can just drive to the hoop and get by everybody and just lay it in.
Bobcats turn it over. Back come the Knights, down by 6. Stout inside to Barnes. Now Butler, jump shot, good. 32-28. The Knights with a 4-0 run have cut that 8-point lead down to 4. Diggs almost lost the ball. Jump shot outside by Frostburg is no good, and then the ball is knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Knights basketball with 1:41 to go. It's a good run here by the Knights. They were down by 8, now they're only down by 4, and they've got the basketball. Parrish replaces Butler.
Good little couple plays right there. As we saw Shelby Butler, just a nice another free throw shot. Easy bucket for her. She picked up her 7th point with that shot.
Foul is called inside. It'll go against Frostburg. Downey will pick it up, and the Knights will go to the foul line. That's the 15th foul on Frostburg. So shooting 2 here is Katie Garish.
Katie Garish also a pretty decent free throw shooter, shooting 62%.
And she connects on the first one to make it 32-29. The Knights are within now 3.
That's really nice to have your 4 and 5 on your team both being really good free throw shooters, as you don't see that too often.
And the offensive rebound for the Knights. Stout passing down low to Garish. And the Knights will try to work the clock a little bit and look for a good shot. They're down by 3. They can actually tie this game with a 3-pointer. Trying to get it down low to Garish. Pass inside to Garish, and she can't score. And it's going to be Bobcats basketball with 1:16 to go.
One thing that's really been hurting Southern Virginia here early, they're shooting 12 of 35 from the field so far.
Those shots start falling, obviously. The Knights could really make a great comeback as the Bobcats get it across the timeline. Viscalo's got it for the Bobcats. 60 seconds to go till halftime. Bobcats by 3. Diggs, long jumper, hits again. That's her 3rd 3-pointer of this first half.
Her 3rd and Frostburg 6th of the first half.
6-point lead. Barnes the other way is triple teamed, and she got the shot to go.
Barnes, such a tough player, ripping away from that defender.
And a steal by the Knights as the Bobcats throw the ball away, 35-31. Pass it over to Alexis Barnes, and she works inside over to Garish, and she connects. 35-33. Bobcats lose the ball out of bounds, and it's going to be Frostburg basketball with 5 seconds left in the half.
Good defense there by Tui Severa. Almost getting that steal, which would have gave Knights the last shot and maybe a chance to tie the game.
Inbounds pass to Yoder. And Diggs is going to be fouled by Ballum. That's going to be a non-shooting foul, though. It's only the 4th team foul. And so with less than a second to go, the Bobcats will take it out of bounds. That was a good, smart foul by Ballum, since that was just a 4-team foul. Wilson gets the shot off and misses it. And so we have reached halftime with Frostburg on top, 35-33. You know, considering the way the Knights have struggled shooting the ball here in this first half, Nash, and the way that Frostburg has shot 3-pointers, the Knights have to feel pretty good about their situation. Only down by 2.
Yeah, only down by 2 in a close game, as we've seen them kind of trail, but then somehow fight their way back, as we've seen Katie Garish. She has 11 points. Alexis Barnes doing very well down low. She drives through, gets a couple layups. Shelby Butler with 7, Jamila Gandy with 4. Hopefully we'll see Jamila back in the third quarter. She was out most of the second quarter because she was struggling with 2 fouls.
She picked up 2 fouls and sat almost the entire second quarter. But as you mentioned, Shelby Butler and especially Katie Garish and Alexis Barnes, all 3 of those players really dominating inside right now for the Knights.
You know, and they dominated last game. Katie Garish already having 8 rebounds here in the first half, on track to kind of do what she did last game against Frostburg.
19 points, 15 rebounds.
Yeah, good game for her so far.
And you got to figure for Frostburg, their 3-point shooting is going to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, Victoria Diggs already with 9 points, as she has 3 threes. Megan Kelly 2 for 2 on the 3-pointers, but she has 6 points. That's really what's been pushing Frostburg above the Knights right now, is that 3-point shooting.
The Bobcats have a 2-point lead, but it could be a lot larger if they didn't have so many turnovers. They've got 14 turnovers here at halftime. The Knights have 9 turnovers, and the points off of turnovers have really benefited the Southern Virginia University Knights.
Yeah, points off turnovers. Southern Virginia having 15. Another thing that's pretty even. Total rebounds, they've been doing both pretty even. The only thing that really has been separating this game is the 3-point shooting. Both teams shooting about the same from the field. Southern Virginia shooting 37.8% and Frostburg shooting 41%.
But again, the Knights only down by 2. They trailed early 7-0. They actually took the lead in the first quarter by a point, but then Frostburg took the lead back, and really the Bobcats have had the lead throughout the second period, and right now the Bobcats here at halftime lead Southern Virginia. Here, halftime score, Frostburg 35 and Southern Virginia 33. We'll take a break here from the Knight Sports Arena.
spirits. Through all the odds. Push up. That's totally Blake. Yep. Get out of here. That's all Blake. So, just so you know, the prize is 100 kisses. The little chocolates, but I mean, yeah, what we can get, you know? All right. Tony Stolen Blake. Let's go. Let's go, Troy. We're going to have a quick 2-minute knockout game. So the first 10 people to come on this side of the court. All right, here we go. Make it line. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Start on you, Jimmy.
Welcome back to the Night Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Nash Jones, and we are at halftime of a crucial game in the Capital Athletic Conference involving Southern Virginia University and Frostburg. Both these teams right now are battling for the 6th spot in the Capital Athletic Conference. Of course, the top 6 make the playoffs, and coming into the action today, the Knights were 5-11 in the conference. Frostburg a game ahead at 6-10. St. Mary's at 4-12. Frostburg knows if they win today, they lock up the number 6 spot. If they lose, if the Knights defeat them, then it really comes down to that final game coming up on Saturday with the Knights playing at Salisbury and Frostburg hosting Wesley.
Yeah, this has been a close game pretty much the whole entire first half. Frostburg got away for a little bit, but Southern Virginia really came back, rallied back really well. As their points off turnovers really helped them, as they got 15 points off their turnovers, which really helped out because Jamila Gamby, she has 2 steals, as we kind of thought she had 4. Just
right,
must have helped out a lot.
Yeah, ball might have been tipped away, but
yeah, so she's helped out a lot, but didn't see her a lot in the second quarter because she has 2 fouls. So we're going to see hopefully a lot of her in the third quarter. And hopefully she can contribute a lot.
A lot of it seemed to me, Nash, a lot of the turnovers that Frostburg had just really were unforced. I mean, they weren't really being pressured at the time of the pass. Just really bad passes up court.
Yeah, they try to go for those big, long passes, and, somebody's not looking, and then, right place, right time for Southern Virginia as they're right there to grab the ball and come back down. One thing, though, is Frostburg, again, shooting 6 of 13 from the three-point line. Really, really surprising as we saw that in the first quarter.
And you could see Frostburg's defense really collapsing or trying to collapse on Butler and Garish and giving the Knights a 3-point shot. They only took 4 shots from 3-point range and hit one of them. That was Alexis Barnes. But the Knights really don't need to shoot from 3-point range because they've been pretty successful for the most part, getting that ball down low to Butler and Garish and Barnes.
Yeah, Garish has 11 points, Barnes with 9, and Butler with 7. Most of those points have all come from down low.
And so Frostburg will start the second half with the basketball. 2-point lead here for Frostburg. And they missed the jumper. Diggs, though, got her own rebound on a missed shot. And she'll circle back outside. And another turnover on Frostburg's part. They almost threw it away. And they do end up losing the ball out of bounds. Pinkra not able to save it. So the turnover on the Bobcats' part. And the Knights can actually take the lead with a 3. They can tie with a regular basket. Down by 2 here in the third quarter. Pass inside, Garish, hook shot, good, tied up at 35.
That's what they're going to need to do here.
Another turnover for Frostburg out of bounds as they misfire, but apparently that ball was tipped, so it is still going to be Frostburg basketball. 9:25 to go third quarter, all even here at 35. Knights trying to collapse and double team the ball. Diggs passing down low. Bobcats trying to work it around. Right on a drive, and she scores. Kayla Wilson make that with the basket, and she'll go ahead and give Frostburg the lead back at 37-35. Pass inside to Garish, back out. Now back to Garish. She is triple teamed, and a jump ball possession arrow is called. It's going to be Knights basketball. Knights have had the lead once in this game. That was an Alexis Barnes 3-pointer, and there's a shot up and in by Shelby Butler. And that dominant inside game continues to dominate Nash for the Knights.
Yeah, she just cuts the basket nice and easy, and they find her in an open hole.
Pinkra open for a 3, misses. And a steal by Diggs, and the ball is missed inside. The shot is missed inside by Emery. And a jump ball position arrow is called. It's going to favor Frostburg.
Really, really close right there for the Knights, almost getting that ball back.
All even at 37. Bobcats trying to retake the lead. Diggs at 5'4", giving away a lot of size, but she is very quick. The point guard with the ball right now. And she goes baseline, gets it off to Pinkra for the jumper, and she hits. 39-37. Gambia all the way. Lost it on the ground. Picked up off the floor by Pinkra. And it's almost taken away by the Knights. Ball is taken away by Southern Virginia. Stout with a jumper. She scores. Great defense by Corey Stout.
What a quick little play right there. Knights not thinking they were going to get the ball back. Stout just right there to hit the ball.
All even at 39. Long three by Emery is no good, but the rebound comes right to Wilson for Frostburg. And so the Bobcats still have it. Almost a steal by Gambie. And they're going to call that foul on Gambie, and that'll be her third foul. Victoria Diggs, the 5-foot point guard, went down hard, but looks like she is going to be able to get up. And she's trying to shake it off right now to stay in the game, but it looks like she'll be out of the game, and Megan Kelly will check in for her.
You know, not a personal, like intentional foul. Both players just going for the ball, tripping up on each other.
And that was Gambie's third foul, so we'll see if she stays in the game. Don't want to have her pick up her fourth foul this early in the third quarter. All even at 39. And Megan Kelly's going to fire a three and miss. Ball's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Southern Virginia basketball. So the Knights have a chance to take the lead. They had the lead in the first quarter. And Gambie with 3 fouls will check out, and Brindy Ballum will check in.
Really tough right there to take Jamila out of the game. She's really, really effective on defense.
Garish, hook shot, good, and the Knights lead. Right now, Frostburg just doesn't have the defense, Nash, to really stop that inside game for Southern Virginia. Wilson on a drive, and she connects to tie the game at 41. The 5'6" freshman Kayla Wilson scoring to even the game at 41. Garish the other way, can't hit the hook shot. And no offensive rebound that time for the Knights. And almost a steal by Southern Virginia. Wilson gets it across the timeline. And over to Stotler for the layup, and she missed the layup inside. And she got her own rebound. Pass over to Wilson. Wilson's shot is blocked. It's on the floor, and Stotler picks it up, and now she is fouled.
Whew. What a quick little 10 seconds that was.
So Katie Garish picks it up. That's her first foul.
How about that big-time block, though, from Corey Stout? You don't get to see her with a lot of block shots in this game.
Stotler hits the first foul shot to give the Bobcats the lead back at 42-41. And now Muse will check in to replace Stout.
Stotler, the best free throw shooter Frostburg has. She's shooting 75% from the line.
She missed that one. 1 point lead for Frostburg. Knights with a basket can take their first lead since the first quarter. Garish trying to get it down low to Butler, and a foul's called inside on Frostburg.
Frostburg really lucky right there. They got that foul because Alexis Barnes was just sitting out on the corner all alone, and that's right where Butler was about to go.
Pinkra picking up that foul. That's her third. Over to Garish, hook shot, up, no good. And Stotler will make that bounty, pulling down the rebound for Frostburg. Bobcats have a 1 point lead in the ball. Jump shot outside, good by Amber Downey. So you got Gambia on the bench with 3 fouls, and the Knights really miss her, Nash. But then again, Diggs, their great point guard, And a good three-point shooter has also been on the bench here with that injury after she collided with Gamby, and Frostburg misses her. And it looks like Diggs is going to check back in, as is Corey Stout. So Diggs, the point guard for Frostburg, is back into the game. And Corey Stout, the point guard for the Knights, back in the game. Well, you can see without Diggs in there, Frostburg really struggles to handle the basketball. Garish down low, threw it away. Had the hook shot, but had trouble controlling the ball, Nash, and then she tried to throw it back outside, and it resulted in a turnover.
Again, Alexis Barnes was just sitting out on that corner all alone. Katie just not seeing her and decided to go to Nicole, but unable to get that pass off.
Here's Downey with a jump shot, and it's short. The rebound pulled down by Nicole Muse. Knights down by 3. Barnes outside, now over to Garish on the right wing. Butler, hook shot, up and in.
What a laser of a shot. That had zero arc on that, and what a good shot though.
Yeah, Butler and Garish really dominating inside for the Knights, and the other way, Frostburg is able to score right back to make it 46-43 Frostburg. Knights trail by 3. Trying to get it down low to Garish. Hook shot on the way, good again. Garish is just really dominating with that hook shot.
Yeah, Garish having 17 points now and 10 rebounds, picking up her double-double already in the game.
And Kelly will try a 3. That one's no good. Rebound, Corey Stout. Knights can take the lead with the basket. Barnes driving. Layup, no good. And the rebound comes away to Frostburg. And ahead, Stotler all by herself lays it up and in. That was the first time today that Bobcat had gotten behind the Knights' defensive pressure. Garish short on that hook shot. Back comes Yoder. She's trying to go coast to coast. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Stout.
That's Stout's second block of the game.
They had to figure maybe Garish is getting a little tired posting up for that hook shot. It does take a lot of power for her to grab that ball and spin for that hook shot. Bobcats led by 2 at halftime. They lead right now by 3. Pass inside. Downey jump shot. Good again. Amber Downey, the freshman. She's got a pretty good looking shot from 5 or 10 feet out. It's 50-45. Bobcats now on top by 5 as Suava checks into the game for the Knights. And she's got it right now. Off balance shot, no good. Rebound, Downey of Frostburg. Now the Bobcats want to run with it. Diggs trying to go all the way. Layup, and no good, but she was fouled by Corey Stout, and so Diggs will go to the foul line to shoot 2. So Stout picks up her second foul. Diggs' first foul shot is good. Diggs averaging 14.5 points a game, and she is an 87% foul shooter.
That's almost like she never misses. That's really good for her.
She was able to rattle that first foul shot home. And she got that one to give Frostburg a 7-point lead. The Knights had tied the game, but now it's right back to a 7-point edge for Frostburg. And lacrosse at a Southern Virginia 14, Ferrum 8 in the fourth period. Suava's going to try a jump shot, no good, left it short, rebound Diggs. And Diggs wants to run. She's trying to go all the way, and she gets the layup to go. And now Frostburg has a 9-point lead. That's their biggest lead so far. Muse thought about taking the 3, drives instead. Shot is blocked out of bounds. Still Knights basketball. The Knights had tied this game, Nash, and were in position to take the lead, and suddenly Frostburg has jumped out to a 9-point lead.
Knights really struggling here in the last couple of minutes.
And Tui Severa will replace Corey Stout. Knights basketball, they trail by 9. Inbounds to Garish, and she scores. Garish really racking up the points and the numbers. Yoder the other way. And she can't get the shot to go. The ball on the floor picked up by Muse. Back comes Muse all the way, and Diggs knocks it out of bounds. Still Knights basketball, down by 7. Katie Garish again really having just a tremendous game, much like the first game between the Bobcats and the Knights, which the Knights were able to win last month on the road at Frostburg by 20 points. Barnes gets it inside, spinning hook shot, up and no good. Rebound battled for, pulled away momentarily by the Bobcats, but it's taken right back by the Knights. Now back down low to Barnes, hook shot up and too strong. And the rebound comes away to Frostburg. Well, they're letting them play inside. And Diggs will pull up for the jumper. It's no good, and Garish has another rebound. And a foul is going to be called on Frostburg. Katie Garish is really having a heck of a game.
Yeah, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and she only has 1 foul in the game.
Knights down by 7. And we are down to 60 seconds left here in the third quarter. Biggest lead for Frostburg has been 9. Barnes works in close. Ball knocked away. And Diggs has it for Frostburg. She'll try to take it up court herself, and she has a turnover. Tui Severa with the steal. Ballum will drive to the basket and score.
Tui Severa in the right place, right time.
54-49. Into the front court. Bobcats. There's about a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here in the third quarter. 5-point ball game right now, and a shot scored inside by Emery, and a foul on the Knights, a chance at a 3-point play. Nicole Muse just picked up her second foul.
Nicole really close on that. She tried to time her block shot, as you saw her kind of jump right before she put the shot up.
Missed it, but the rebound to Yoder. 10 on the game clock here in the third quarter, 56-49. Wilson gets a pick, step back jumper on the way, no good. And that will do it for the third quarter, as the Knights, who trailed by 2 at halftime, Nash, now will enter the fourth quarter down by 7.
Yeah, they were outscored 21-16 there in that third quarter. Still really having a big game from Katie Garish. They're really going to look to her in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, when you look at the scoring numbers for Garish, Butler, and Alexis Barnes, it is really dominating. The Knights have 49 points, and those 3 players have racked up a lot of points between them.
Yeah, those 3 players alone have 39 points of the 49 points. Also scoring Corey Stout, Jamila Gamby, and Brindy Ballum. For Frostburg, though, Victoria Diggs with 13 points, as we see her always going back and forth down the court. She's so quick, who can find the holes, and a really good shooter for Frostburg. Another thing, though, the turnovers, as Southern Virginia still has more points off turnovers with 21.
Yeah, it looked like in that third quarter the Bobcats got their turnovers under control a little bit more, but
really everything pretty even out. Frostburg shooting 21 of 51. Southern Virginia shooting 22 of 55.
And it looks like the Bobcats have also slowed down their shooting from three-point range as well as we start the fourth quarter. Again, the Knights need to win this game to stay alive for the Capital Conference Tournament. If they win, they're in pretty good shape, especially if they can win at Salisbury, but there's a turnover for the Knights to start the fourth quarter. And backcourt pressure by Southern Virginia trying to get a turnover right back. And the Bobcats get it over to Yoder. She drives and scores, and the Bobcats have a 9-point lead now. See how Southern Virginia responds. Down low, Garish, hook shot, too strong. Rebound to Wilson. She's breaking the other way. Wilson stops, doesn't have the numbers. Pulls it up. Bobcats down by 9. They're actually leading by 9. That's their biggest lead so far. Yoder, though, connects on a 2. And now that's the biggest lead of the game for Frostburg. An 11-point lead at 60-49. Butler will try the jumper and connects. Knights really needed that basket. And now they need a turnover. But the Bobcats get it across the timeline. 60-51, Frostburg by 9. And almost a steal by Gamby. She does get the steal, and then throwing it to a teammate, throws it out of bounds. And so the Bobcats will have it right back. And a timeout is going to be taken by Frostburg. They want to really talk it over, I would imagine, Nash, to try to get things under control with this 9-point lead. Again, in the first game between these two teams, back in January, the Knights went to Frostburg and they beat them 79-59. But today, Frostburg has been able to reduce its turnovers, especially here in the second half. And as a result, they've got a 9-point lead with 8:35 to go.
Yeah, really a completely different game here for Frostburg. Really good play there by Jamila Gamby right there at the end. Picking up her third steal, just was unable to find a teammate to pass it to. But really, this game's probably going to be pretty close as the Knights usually find their way back within a couple minutes, cut that lead down.
The Yoder will inbounds for the Bobcats. Gets it into Megan Kelly. I would imagine Frostburg, whenever possible, will try to work the clock a little bit. And there's Gamby knocking the ball away, knocking it off of Yoder out of bounds. Good defense once again by Jamila Gamby, resulting in a Frostburg turnover. Now the Knights will try to go to work. And Gamby's going to try a 3 and misses it from outside. Haven't seen Jamila shoot the three-pointer, Nash, too much this season. And a steal by Gamby, but they call her maybe for the foul. Let's see.
I think they're calling a kick ball.
Yep, they are going to call it a kick. Jamila already has 3 fouls, so they don't want her picking up foul number 4 here with still 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game.
Jamila has such good eyes and is able to see that ball and just poke it right out.
And a steal by Gamby, gets the layup and scores.
Gamby's such a difference maker here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah,
so
very
far.
quick hands. 60-53. Ahead the pass comes for Frostburg. They break it across the timeline. Now they'll set up their offense with a 7-point lead. Bobcats trying to look for a good shot. Wilson will take it, and it's no good. The rebound of the Knights, down by 7. Knights trying to battle back here in the fourth quarter. It is down low to Butler, and her shot is no good, and the rebound comes away to Frostburg as they had what they wanted. Down low, Shelby Butler just not able to score, and Corey Stout with a steal. Over to Gamby for the layup. And a timeout is taken by Frostburg. They wanted to get their point guard, Diggs, back into the game, and they had a lot of turnovers before they were able to call the timeout, Nash, and get her back in the game. So what was an 11-point lead at 60-49 is suddenly 60-55, a 6-0 run by the Knights.
Yeah, as Frostburg picked up their 21st turnover with that last one right there. Southern Virginia having 25 points off those turnovers. Doing such a good job right there. Jamila Gamby, such a difference maker in those last couple minutes. I think she had 2 steals right there, and then Corey Stout came away with 1 right there.
And a couple of layups for Jamila Gamby as well. And so Frostburg, when they're turning the ball over, they got real problems. And right now, they've turned it over a few times here in the last couple of minutes to see an 11-point lead shaved down to 5. And now backcourt pressure. Diggs is double teamed, tries to fight through the double team, gets through 3 defenders, ahead to Stotler, and she scores. That was all. Victoria Diggs, the 5'4" point guard. 62-55. Pass inside, knocked away by Diggs, and stolen away by Frostburg, and a foul is called on Garish, and that's going to be her second.
Knights just really trying to push those turnovers right now, trying to cut that lead down from 7.
So it's a 7-point ball game right now, and the Knights will stick with that backcourt pressure, trying to get a turnover. Diggs gets the pass, works it up court. They'll try a 3-pointer. It's up and no good for Frostburg. Kelly with the miss, and the rebound of the Knights, down by 7. Barnes, outside Butler, jumper up and no good. Garish with the rebound, and she's fouled. Katie Garish will get a couple of foul shots.
Katie Garish picked up her 11th rebound with that last one right there. You know, usually Butler hits those free throw jumpers, as she has already in this game, I think twice. But Garish doing a good job of pulling down that rebound and getting fouled.
And with that first foul shot going in, it's 62-56. Knights again trailed at one point, 60-49. They have battled back to within 6. And now the lead is down to 5. Knights trying to get another turnover. But Frostburg this time gets it across the timeline. Kelly's got it outside. Now Pinkra down low. Downey had the shot blocked by Garish. Shot clock's at 7 for Frostburg. Diggs. Kelly with the long jumper, no good. Rebound, Stotler, follow shot, no good. And the rebound comes to the Knights, and a foul is called on Downey. So after the foul, that's the second foul of Downey. The Knights have the ball, only trailing here by 5. Trying to battle back in the fourth quarter. They were down by 11. Gambee down low to Butler. Double team ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Bobcats. Knights basketball with 16 on the shot clock. Shot clock a factor, down to 10. It's Garish down low to Butler. She gets free and misses the shot inside. And Stout gets the steal, and it's taken right back by Frostburg. And now the Bobcats will try to slow it down and work the clock a little bit with only a 5-point lead, though. Pass inside to Downey. Downey, jump shot, outside, no good, too strong. Rebound to the Knights. Southern Virginia again a chance to cut into that 5-point deficit. And a travel is called on the Knights, so the turnover will give it right back to Frostburg.
You know, and that's, Knights really can't afford to do that. This is such a close game with only under 5 minutes left, being down 5. You really need to take advantage of every possession you have.
Ballum is into the game for the Knights. Frostburg gets it across the timeline. Now Diggs with Ballum on her. Over to Yoder. Yoder's shot no good. Got her own rebound. Ball knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Knights basketball. Great defense down low by Alexis Barnes.
Alexis Barnes, one of those all-around players, can do it all.
Knights again trying to get a little closer, down by 5. Looking down low for Garish. They get it to her, and her shot is no good. And the rebound, Diggs has it. She'll try to break it the other way, gets it over to Yoder, back to Diggs for the layup, and she scores. They ran a 2-on-1 break. The Bobcats did to perfection, and it's 64-57 now.
Diggs just so fast and can get away from all the Knights defenders, and it was just Corey Stout all by herself.
Pass knocked away out of bounds by the Bobcats with 3:46 to go as Butler will check back in. Knights trying to win on senior day. The 3 seniors for the Knights, Jensen, Butler, Gamby, they'll all be honored after the game, right before the men's contest. And they'll also plan to honor Tony Caputo, the head men's basketball coach, who's coaching his final home game. His game against Frostburg will follow this one. And all the festivities will be taking place right before the beginning of the men's game. And we'll have hopefully all that for you, the honoring of the 3 seniors and Tony Caputo. Knights trail by 7. Gamby gets it over to the right side to Ballum. Pass inside is a shot clock violation. And so on the shot clock violation, the ball goes back over to Frostburg with 3:26 to go. Right now, Nash, there's still enough time. You're down by 7. You get down by 7, and it gets down to like the 1-minute mark, and it's another matter entirely.
Yeah, Frostburg doing a really good job on defense right there, not letting Southern Virginia really go anywhere. Southern Virginia with their 20th turnover right there. Really, this game is very even across the board. The only thing that's slightly out of proportion is their Frostburg's three-point shooting is they're 6 of 20. Really,
their percentage has come back down to earth, though, even though, and it doesn't even look like they're really looking for three-pointers right now for the most part. They're just trying to avoid turnovers. They're trying to work it, obviously trying to work the clock a little bit each time down. They want to take 15 or 20 seconds off the clock. For the Knights, they want to keep on doing, Nash, what they've been doing pretty well all night long, and that's getting it down to their big people like Shelby Butler and Katie Garish.
Yeah, Katie Garish having 21 points and 12 rebounds, having a much similar game to the last time they played Frostburg. Shelby Butler going 6 of 15 from down low, which is really, really surprising from her. She's usually has a better shot percentage than that. Just Frostburg's defense, very, very tough here in this game.
The 5 on the floor for the Knights right now: Corey Stout, Jamila Gamby, also Brindy Ballum, Shelby Butler, Katie Garish. It's 64-57, Frostburg by 7 with 3:25 to go. And the Knights looking for that turnover. Diggs gets it up court to Pinkra. And now we'll see if Frostburg will try to take some time off the clock before they take a shot. Pass knocked away by the Knights. A steal by Southern Virginia. Another turnover for Frostburg. See if the Knights can take advantage of it. Down by 7. Under the 3-minute mark now. Looking down low for Butler. Ballum goes over to Gamby. She drives baseline and is fouled. And that will result in 2 foul shots for Jamila Gamby with 2:47 to go.
You know, and these are crucial free throw shots right here. She needs these 2 to cut the lead down to 5 because it's crunch time now for Southern Virginia.
Gamby a 62% foul shooter. Too strong on that shot. One more shot coming. Gamby, one of the 3 seniors on this team, averaging 7.7 points a game. And she missed it. Rebound comes away to Frostburg. 2 big foul shots missed there. And now the Bobcats will try to work the clock a little bit with a 7-point lead. They get the ball in the hands of the point guard, Diggs. Victoria Diggs with the shot clock down to 8, and Barnes gets the steal on the pass inside. Back comes Barnes the other way. She tries to go all the way for the layup, and a blocking foul is called on Diggs. She was trying to pick up the charge, but Barnes was able to go around her. Diggs will pick up the blocking foul. That's her second foul, and that will send Barnes to the foul line to shoot two. And Alexis Barnes, who's averaging 10.2 a game, is a 68% foul shooter. And there goes one home from the charity stripe for the Knights as they climb now within 6 points.
Knights shooting 7 of 12 so far from the free throw line. Now shooting 8 of 13.
And they're within 5. Diggs works it up court to Stotler. Now Diggs working one-on-one against Brindy Ballum. Pinkra was down on her. Kelly is fouled by Gamby. That's going to be her 4th foul. It'll be a non-shooting foul, so Frostburg will take it out of bounds, but the shot clock does reset for Frostburg. Diggs works through a double team and is going to be fouled. Let's see who gets this foul call. It's going to be Corey Stout. That, I believe, will be her 3rd foul. And Diggs, they'll rule that she was trying to shoot the ball, so they're going to give her 2 foul shots. Which, again, as we talked about now, she's almost automatic from the foul line.
Yeah, she's shooting above 80%. Shooting up
65-59.
Shooting up 85%, actually.
So Ballum checks out. Butler checks back in. Diggs makes the second one. Back to a 7-point lead here for Frostburg. Gamby trying to go all the way for the layup. Off balance shot, no good. Butler with the rebound, too strong on the follow shot. Ball comes outside. Diggs has it. Somehow does a spin move to get away from Corey Stout. And now the Bobcats are going to try to work a little more clock. Game clock is down to 1:25 to go. Knights down by 7. And the shot clock for Frostburg is down to 10. Diggs gets a pick. Long 3-pointer, air ball out of bounds. Tried to save it, Frostburg did. And it's going to be Southern Virginia basketball with 1:11 to go. I figure Diggs has got to be tired by now, and that would explain why she shot the air ball on the 3-point shot.
Diggs having most of the minutes here in this game. I think the only time she went out was when she was fouled.
Rebound by Garish. And Garish with the stick back. So 60 seconds to go. The Knights are down by 5. And the Knights take a timeout here, Nash, with 60 seconds left. The Knights are again trailing by 5. And in men's lacrosse action, late in the 4th quarter, it is Southern Virginia now seizing a very solid lead against Ferrum, 20-12, as the Knights have erupted in the second half of that game to pull away from Ferrum. And looks like a couple of different players are really doing a lot of scoring here for the Knights.
Tennyson Smith with 6 goals in this game. Seth Garth with 4. Carter Bean with 3. Sean Lamb with 3. Jace Thomas with 2. Cade Rich and Ty Veras with one each.
Great to see that, because earlier in the game, Ferrum actually had the early lead. They led 4-1, in fact, at the end of 1. But then the Knights really started to get their offense scoring. They have scored 7 in the second, 6 in the third, and 6 so far in the fourth, after only scoring 1 goal in the first period.
Yeah, great job for Southern Virginia men's lacrosse team. Most likely going to pick up their first win here at home. First game of the season, actually.
Women's lacrosse will have a home game coming up on Saturday at 4 o'clock against Emmanuel. Of course, we've got volleyball Friday night, 7 o'clock against Marymount, and then a doubleheader Friday for volleyball. 2 o'clock against Juniata, and then 7 o'clock at night against UC Santa Cruz. Backcourt pressure by the Knights, trying to get the turnover. Diggs gets it across the timeline. Diggs in the open court trying to work the clock a little bit, and then is fouled. That's just a 14 foul on Southern Virginia. Brittany Ballum will pick that one up. So each team has 14 fouls. And right now, each team will be in the bonus the rest of the way home. And I'm sure for Frostburg, they want to get that ball in the hands of Diggs. That way, if she gets fouled, she's their best foul shooter.
Diggs just so fast, it's hard to guard her.
They're trying to get it to her, and they get it to Diggs, and she's fouled by Gamby. And that'll be her 5th foul. So the senior fouls out of the game. She had a tremendous game, Nash. Had a couple of layups and really played a tremendous game defensively with a lot of steals.
Yeah, Gamby was a difference maker in this game when she was in. She had lots of steals. We saw her and Corey Stout work that Frostburg offense early in the 4th quarter.
Diggs making the first foul shot. And as we talked about, she came in, their leading scorer, 14.5 points a game, 86% from the foul line.
As Diggs looking to get her 19th point here with this foul shot.
Yeah, nothing but net. And she gives her team a 7-point lead. Now the clock is a factor. 50 seconds and counting. Down low, Garrish. The ball knocked away and picked up by Diggs. Frostburg getting a big turnover there, and another foul is called. Looks like it'll go against Stout, and I believe that will be her 4th foul. They're going to call it on Ballum instead. That's her 3rd. And unfortunately, Diggs will go right back to the foul line, shooting 2. And Diggs even got the roll that time to make it 69-61.
I was thinking that one was definitely going to go out as you saw it hit the front. Somehow it just bounced in.
And the second one misses. So 1 out of 2 at the line for that time for Diggs. 8-point lead, 35 seconds to go. Knights trying to get a big basket over to Butler. Jump shot, good. A hook by Shelby Butler cuts that lead down to 6 with just 30.5 seconds left. So Frostburg has a 6-point lead, and Nash right now, the Knights really down by 6, only 30 seconds to go. And unless you get a 3-pointer, you're talking about 3 possessions. You need to make 3 baskets. So you're going to have to get some Frostburg steals, some steals off the Frostburg passes, some Frostburg turnovers. Yeah, you really can't rely on foul shots being missed right now. You got to get some steals if you're the Knights defense.
Yeah, they're going to really have to lock down Diggs. She's so fast, so quick, and gets away. But that's who Frostburg's going to go to. They're going to try to find her open, and then you're probably going to either have to get the ball away from her, which she has incredible handles as we've seen in this game.
I don't think I've seen a quicker player this season.
Diggs really one of the quicker players in this conference, as she has done so well tonight for Frostburg. Again, she has 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 fouls.
And also 7 of 8 from the foul line. She just missed her first foul shot just a couple of minutes ago.
Not only is she shooting 60% from the 3-point line, too. We saw her early in the game just dropping dimes on the Southern Virginia defense.
And they're going to try to get it to Diggs. They're double teaming her right now. Pinkra is wide open, but she doesn't want to take that shot. She'll back it out. Gives it over to Megan Kelly, and Kelly is fouled by Stout. And that took about 8 seconds off the clock. So Stout picks up the foul call. That's her 4th foul. And Megan Kelly will go to the foul line to shoot 2, and she is only a 56% foul shooter. She misses the first one.
Yeah, good break for the Knights right there. If you're going to foul anybody, this is probably the person you want to foul.
She looks like she's got a flat shot. First shot barely got to the basket. That one is missed too. 2 big misses. Knights trying to get a big basket with 18 seconds to go. They really need a jump shot, and Stout misses it from outside. Rebound Frostburg, and that might just do it. 11.6 seconds left. Diggs going to the foul line. Frostburg on top here by 6, and Corey Stout picks up her 5th foul, and she is out of the game. Nicole Muse will check in. Right now, 6-point lead, Nash. If Diggs even hits one of these foul shots, that might be the ball game.
Yeah, tough game for Southern Virginia. You know, fighting back, getting the lead for a little short while in the first quarter, and then you know, breaking it down to a tie in the second half.
Yeah, on several occasions here in the second half, the Knights had actually tied the game. They just never could get over the hump and get the lead in the second half. And Diggs, with those foul shots, gives her team a 71-63 lead with 11.6 to go. And if you're Southern Virginia right now, you're down by 8. You've only got 11 seconds to go. What you have to do is get it down court, shoot a three-pointer, get a steal, and then maybe hit another three-pointer, and then probably another steal.
Yeah, it seems to be almost impossible here for Southern Virginia to come back. As we saw, Diggs, most likely the player of the game here in this game. Again, she has 22 points. She shot 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. She only shot 50% from the field, though. But overall, good game from her, as she was a key part of the Frostburg's offense.
So here we go, just 11.6 seconds left. We'll see what the Knights end up doing here. Barnes will try the three-pointer. It is no good. Ball knocked out of bounds with 6.8 seconds left. And it is going to be Knights basketball here with 6.8 seconds left, but they're down by 8. Inbounds, way outside, Nicole Muse. Long three on the way, no good. And now with 3 seconds to go, it'll be Frostburg basketball, and the Bobcats will just take it inbounds and wrap up this victory. This is a big road victory for the Frostburg Bobcats. And it looks like they're going to move on to the Capital Conference Tournament with a big road win, defeating Southern Virginia 71-63. And with the loss, Nash, the Knights now drop to 5-12 in the conference. Frostburg is 7-10 in the conference, and so Frostburg will get the number 6 slot in the conference tournament, and the Knights will drop to 12-12, and they've got one more chance at a victory coming up on Saturday at Salisbury.
Yeah, Salisbury, now the Knights just looking to go out of the season with a win. As the last time they played Salisbury, I think,
was a home game, and they lost that one.
They lost by 18. They lost 70-52 that game. That is a very winnable game. I remember watching that game as Salisbury's team wasn't better than Southern Virginia. It was the turnovers in that game. The turnovers really racked up in that game. Southern Virginia very easily can come away with a win to end the season.
Well, in this game today, the Knights again fell behind early, 7-0. They actually caught up in the first quarter and took the lead, trailed only by 2 at halftime. And then they actually tied the game on several occasions, Nash, in the second half. They just never could get over the hump, never could get that lead back in the second half. And as a result, Frostburg was able to pull away. Whenever Frostburg wasn't turning the ball over, they were actually playing pretty good ball.
Yeah, the first and third quarters were really tough for Southern Virginia, as we see that they were outscored by 5 in both those quarters.
Right.
But in the second quarter, Southern Virginia outscoring them 18-15, and in the fourth quarter only being outscored by 1 point. It was a very close game. These two teams are very, very close together. They play the same. They have the same abilities. Just Frostburg was able to come away with the win tonight.
And so the Knights know that they cannot make the Capital Conference Tournament now, 2 games behind Frostburg with only 1 game to play. And so what they'll do is they'll try to regroup on Saturday, try to send the seniors on the road out on a positive note with that road game at Salisbury.
Yeah, that's all they're looking for now, is to have a good, positive end to their season. Congratulations, though, to the Knights on such a good season.
Yep. 12 victories, only had, I believe, a few victories last season, so a big turnaround by the Knights.
Yeah, and to those 3 seniors this year, they've done very well. From Butler, Gamby, and Jensen all did very well this season.
And don't forget, we'll have the men's contest between Southern Virginia and Frostburg coming up in about 24 minutes. But before we have the men's contest, we're going to have the salute to the 3 Southern Virginia University women's basketball seniors, as well as Tony Caputo, who is coaching his final home game today for the Southern Virginia men. So make sure you join us for that. In about 10 or 15 minutes, we'll come back for the pregame festivities honoring the 3 Southern Virginia University women's senior basketball players, as well as Tony Caputo. So make sure you join us for that. Final score again in the women's contest today, it was Frostburg 71 and Southern Virginia 63. Thanks again for joining us, everyone, for Knights women's basketball here from the Knights Sports Arena.